So we're in Madeira Beach.
So we're in Madeira Beach. It's a perfect spot. It's due for craft cocktails. St. Pete has got a few coming up. The Galley, great. If you haven't been to the Galley yet, you need to go for craft cocktails. It's brilliant. Ship's Hold is kind of their speakeasy that's right next to the Galley. Both excellent cocktails. A couple other places like that. Sarasota has Bar Hana, which has got great tropical cocktails, and then you have the Hanu. But that's 45 minutes each way.
Right.
The brand new hotel here is great. We were able to pivot. We wanted to put a Tiki Docks, which is another one of our brands, in. It didn't quite fit the format that our Tiki Docks. We usually have like inside bar, outside bar, and it wasn't going to work here. So it was perfect for us to launch our first new Don the Beachcomber. It just, all the cards played out, so it's just right.
Well, it really is, because I'm cynical. I've been in all the tiki bars, and good luck to all the new ones, but I'm not a fan of a lot of them, and this is unbelievable.
Right. We have the history, and we have to stay true to that legacy.
Right.
I mean, we're brand ambassadors of the number one tiki bar legacy bar brand.
Right.
We have to do it justice, which is why we brought in Danny, which is why they hired me for the cocktails. Our graphic designer, our creative director, he has a tiki background, so he gets it. He did the tapa. You should get some pictures of that.
Absolutely.
He did the tapa. He did our layout for the menus as well. So each cocktail has its own little illustration that he did. You could take a picture of it later if you want.
And obviously there's plenty of Don the Beachcomber cocktails here on this menu.
Yes.
So what about Marie King cocktails?
Yes. Also, both.
Because I remember, I think one of the last times we saw you was at the Tonga Hut. You made us a passion play, which was one of your creations.
Gosh, that was a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, so I'm excited about that. I mean, you know your stuff, but I might have told you this before. Like, I think I first met you. It must have been the 2008 Hukilau. So it goes back a long time. But I remember once. This is crazy. I've had a lot of exotic cocktails. We went to the Huntington Beach Don the Beachcomber one day. You didn't know it was us or whatever, but I ordered a Mai Tai, and I've had a lot of Mai Tais, and I've never in my life had a Mai Tai like that. And it was just put in the order, you made it. It was I think it was like 10 days before your accident. If
my goodness.
Yeah.
My accident was April 24th.
Yes. It was right around Easter that year. Yes, in 2010. And I will never forget that Mai Tai. Yeah, scared. But it was unbelievable, and I thought, now Marie King, who knows this stuff, is here in Madeira Beach opening up a brand new giant Don the Beachcomber. We've been in the one, remember the one in Marina Del Rey?
Yes.
So I saved part of the door.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
I took some of the tapa off the side of the building.
Oh, good. Someone had to do it. But it was in a number of films in the 80s, and the interior of this looks so much like it. Actually, this looks better. Yeah. Which is crazy.
Cool. Danny did a great job. He understands what we were going for, which was the classic look.
Right.
And so, I was like, "Oh, can we get a Bosco?" He's like, "No." I love Bosco. Bosco's my favorite tiki artist. Right. But he said, "No, it just doesn't fit. It has to be traditional."
No, there's all.
So even the tikis that Basement Kahuna, Danny, and Tom Founder did, the cannibals, it's of the genre, the cannibal, which Don had 3 cannibals behind his bar. That's where it started. And these are just classic. There's no mistaking that it's. Each individual artist's take on classic tiki.
Right. They look like they could have been carved in 1940.
Right. So. Absolutely. The Marquesan poles that Danny did.
Yes.
Those as well. All the trim on the bar that he did, and the trim on the posts. He had all of these boxes of traditional Papua New Guinea art that he gave to us. He drove all the way up and down the coast, finding the flotsam and jetsam that's on the ceiling. So that's, from Newport Richie all the way up there. There's a bunch of fishing villages along the Gulf Coast here that he got some of the sponges and stuff from. And
Don the Beachcomber did that a lot in his old restaurants, and you don't see sponges hung like that in too many tiki bars, but it's a definite nod to this area because of Tarpon Springs and the sponge fishermen. That's just terrific. It looks great.
We're really blessed. And then the cocktail menu, even if it's a traditional Don the Beachcomber cocktail, he might have said dark Jamaican rum.
Right.
And at the time, dark Jamaican rum in the 40s was Myers. Well, Myers then is not Myers now. I'm really blessed that I've tried Myers from then.
Wow.
So I know what the flavor profile, so I've been able to adapt his recipes with modern ingredients that I think fit the style. So we did tons of taste tests. And I've been doing this over the years too, where I've kind of found that perfect trifecta of rums that go together, you know, brand-wise. So I was able to bring that influence in here.
Nice.
So, yeah, you know, gold Virgin Island rum, what does that mean? You know, and even if it said a brand, the brand may not be the same, you know? I won't mention any brands, but one that has a red dot on it doesn't anymore isn't what it used to be, you know? So there's a lot of that.
Right. And you have to stay on top of it.
Yeah, you have to stay on top of it. And then you also have to, I mean, Don was always reinventing his menu. Even some of the drinks that had the same name, he would reinvent 3 or 4 times depending on where he was at. The Beachcomber's Gold from the 30s was made with Italian and French vermouth. But by the 50s, 60s, the Beachcomber's Gold that was being served in Hawaii had passion fruit in it. Very different drinks, right? Not everyone likes rum because there's a bad vision of some rum, because there's a lot of American rum is bad. So I did add tequila drinks. There are whiskey drinks. There's even mezcal drinks. You know, so it's kind of modernizing it. And I think Don would have taken that tradition as well.
He absolutely would have.
You know, so I'm kind of proud of that. There's a few Easter eggs in there that people who know me will be like, ah.
Okay. Well, like a tiki bar is never truly done. It's always changing and evolving. And now what you're saying, it makes perfect sense. Tiki cocktails, they're always evolving and changing.
Absolutely.
With the times and with the new flavors and what's developed, of course.
And yeah, people's palates change. But it's really difficult to do what Don did back in the day, which was keep your recipe secret and keep that recipe the same for 40 years and nobody can figure it out. You know, how long did it take Jeff Beachcomber to decipher the zombie? 12 years to figure out what Don's mix was, right?
Right.
You can't do that nowadays. You just can't do that anymore.
Hey, when are you opening?
Not till the end of February.
Oh, really? Not till the end?
Yep.
We've been here at the hotel for over a month. We've been waiting for it to open.
Oh goodness.
We probably won't be here till back till March sometime. Well, to see you now.
Yep, please do.
Okay, thank you. We're excited to come try it.
Thank you. We are too. Every day, like hundreds of
perfect.
people come in here every day. These poor staff that's on here, the leadership team.
This is going to be phenomenal.
Yeah.
This is going to go crazy when it opens.
But you can't really keep the recipe secret like you did anymore because people want to publish stuff, and you know people need to know what's in things: gluten, nuts,
Right.
you know, tropical fruit, pineapple. There's all these allergies. You can't keep those recipes, so you have to evolve, and you have to create. You almost have to mass create drinks, you know, that are going to be crowd pleasers. You can always keep that little thing to yourself that makes them want to come to your restaurant or bar to drink that drink. You know, whether it be the syrup, you can give them the recipe, you can give them the ingredients in the syrup, but you may not give them the exact recipe. Or you give them the ingredients of the drink, but, you know, people will try to reverse engineer it. But I'm always, you know, like you get mom's recipe, or grandma's recipe, and she always leaves one ingredient out.
Right.
It's the same sort of thing. But you can't really do that because of the allergies and stuff. But you know what I'm trying to say.
The magic's in the ratio.
Exactly, the ratio.